Welcome, everybody. This is Swami Tirtha, another episode of Mission Ignited. And today, I'm very happy to introduce to a very, very interesting man, Don Pelles. Don, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to be here.
So tell us, what is it that you do?
I'm a hypnotherapist.
Okay.
I help people resolve issues in their lives, things that uh, they don't want to settle for anymore.
Hmm.
Things like anxiety, phobias, habits they don't like smoking or other habits. I also help people with performance issues, whether it's executive, sports performance, or sometimes artistic.
Hmm.
I've worked with several opera singers.
Oh,
Um, that's anxiety, depression. That's what I do.
all right. And so give me, you have a story to share of somebody, maybe a athlete or somebody like that, something real a fun story that how you helped somebody in a big way.
Yeah, what comes to mind is a soccer player. I mean,
Okay.
an amateur soccer player, and he had a lot of things going on in his life. It wasn't just soccer, so I helped him with some family issues, just stuff at
Uh,
work, just how he reacts to his boss, his
mm.
colleagues at work. But in soccer, he just showed a dramatic improvement. Uh, he wrote me back and said, wait, I gotta turn this off. Said he'd scored, I forget what it was, 3 goals, like like the next game after we had worked.
Wow.
Uh, and
Wow.
it just kind of turned him loose. Uh, Another person, well, so we have a really bad bridge here.
Okay.
Uh, well, it's bad in the sense it's called the worst bridge in America. It's the Chesapeake Bay Bridge
Okay.
it goes from near Annapolis to the eastern shore of Maryland, several miles long, goes high over the bay, and a lot of people just have trouble with that bridge. In fact, excuse me.
Bless
In
you.
fact, you can drive up past the toll booth. You can drive up, and you have to pay, but they'll have somebody drive you across the bridge if you can't do it yourself.
Wow.
Uh, so I've helped a lot of people that, can't drive over that bridge or other bridges.
What
Uh,
is it? Shake or something? Is it what
no,
makes
it's
it?
just really high.
Oh,
I
I
think
see.
it's partly a perceptual thing.
Hmm.
People just in their visual sense, they just kind of fall into all that space. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
people have trouble with that.
Hmm.
My wife does, but I can't work with my wife.
Hey,
But I've
you know.
helped people do that. Another really bad one is the Delaware Bridge over the Delaware, going across from Delaware to New Jersey.
Hmm. Okay.
Uh, It's a really
And
high bridge over the Susquehanna River on I-95. It's beautiful, but
yeah,
it's all this space, and you're
yeah,
driving across what now seems like a very narrow strip.
yeah.
Of course, it's a road,
Right, right, yeah, yeah.
3 lanes. It's just like any road, but that's not the perception that people have.
Right, right.
What else?
Now, can you
Oh,
work with a person? So would you, let's say they've got a bridge out. You're on the East Coast. Let's say there's a bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge, and
mm,
they're afraid to go over that. Can you work with them on the
oh,
phone or over
sure.
Zoom? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sure. It's not specific to the bridge, but
I mean, can you talk
I
to them?
always try to test afterward.
Yeah.
So you can go on YouTube, and for most of these bridges, you can find videos actually from the driver's point of view driving across the bridge, sometimes even in rain or snow.
Wow.
So I always tell them after we're done. First of all, I mean, the real test is driving over the bridge,
Right.
but to watch one of those videos and see how you react. That's a
Oh,
good
okay.
indication.
I
Uh,
see.
I've worked, I remember working with a woman with a cat phobia,
Hmm.
And her assignment after we were done was to go to a pet store and handle a cat. She did, and it was fine. Uh, but with a
So,
phobia, you always want to test.
right. And you can work with people by distance, that was what I meant. Like
Yeah,
that,
that's, oh, yes, yes. I work exclusively now with the internet.
okay. Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. But back when I had my office, I worked with a 5-year-old boy who had been stung by a bee the summer before, and he was afraid to go out and play because there might be bees.
Oh, wow.
And then after the session, we walked down. It was spring with him and his mother, and there was a bush right and this right by my building with bees flying around it.
Hmm.
He was fine. He was even curious.
Wow.
So
Now, as I understand it from our last conversation, you have a specialist sort of a focus with your hypnosis as well in a more spiritual context.
yes, so I call it my empowered self framework.
Okay.
And there are two paradigms. One is core transformation, which was developed by Connie Ray Andreas in the late 80s.
Mhm.
And it's a form of parts therapy, but what distinguishes it is that in the course of it, you elicit what we call a core state. It's a high level, I describe it as a high level existential or spiritual state of being. It's on the order of love, oneness, wholeness, peace can be one. The words are not that important, but
Mhm.
it's the state itself. And it's more than just a feeling. It's not a feeling. It's not reflexive, like loving myself is not a core state,
Mm,
or being loved by, but love
mm,
is. Uh, and then we use that to transform the part. And by part, I mean the part of you that wants to smoke, the part of you that gets angry, the part of you that feels unmotivated or something. Uh,
So in this session, you get people to experience that higher
yes,
vibe.
they
Okay.
experience it. The part experiences the aspect of them, and then the person themselves, and that becomes a powerful. Well, it's a state of being. It's a
Yeah.
powerful resource for them. And then we
Mm.
cement that in a number of different ways. So it really becomes your way of being in the world. That's one. The other is a little different. It's called wholeness work. And it's a little, it involves the ego, the self. Actually, there we find several of them.
Yeah. Okay.
The I, capital I.
Mhm.
Uh, and we talk about the field of awareness that's all around and through. And I put it in very down to earth terms. So
Mm, okay.
you're aware of if somebody called your name from behind you, you'd be aware of that. Boom, without
Okay. I see what you
even noticing, without trying.
mean.
Uh,
Right.
and then you notice that there's this whole field of awareness that's all around you, within you, and it's vast. And
Mm,
so we invite the I, the self, to expand into that whole field of awareness. Philosophers, gurus call that the big I, as opposed to the small I. So you
right.
could say sometimes I call it an exercise in perspective. From that point of view, it's much easier to resolve issues, even things that seemed irresolvable, intractable,
Mm,
to
mm,
uh, to heal. Uh, it's a whole different perspective, and things that just from the point of view of the small I were intractable, insolvable, do get resolved.
So if I understand these two, and I'm not sure I do yet, the first one, you somehow give them that experience of higher consciousness.
Yeah.
And from there they go, oh, okay, those other things are little, I don't mind them anymore. Would
Mhm.
that be? And then this one, you're starting from the individual and I guess it seems, but you're getting to that bigger picture too.
Yes.
So what would the difference be between the two big
Well, the
experiences?
difference is in the methodology and how you go about it.
How you get
And
there?
they're complementary. I will work with one
Yeah.
and then the
Yeah.
other, and go back and forth sometimes.
So when you get them to experience that higher consciousness state, uh, how much of it do they retain over the weeks and months and years? Do you need to uh, give them a reconnection every so often, or how does that work?
It depends.
Mm.
It depends. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I don't usually work with people that long. Usually 4 or 5 90-minute sessions.
Okay.
So and I can't follow up on everybody.
Sure.
But sometimes people come back, but like I have people calling me like 10 or 15 years later. I've been doing this
Okay.
for 20 years,
Yeah.
but so I really can't answer that. I would say it varies sometimes. Uh, but we do in the process, in the core transformation process, we do things to uh, enhance, to cement in that core state.
Yeah. And I also, in my experience, is when you start to succeed in things you didn't think you could succeed in, you yourself change the rules in your brain. Say, yeah,
That's right.
this,
Yeah.
so
And we are changing brains.
yeah,
I'm not a neuroscientist, but I really believe so with the wholeness work, the one with the field of awareness.
yeah,
I would ask you, say you're angry, so go back to when you were angry. Where do you feel it? Oh, it's
yeah,
in my
right.
chest, my stomach. And then where's the I? Where's the perceiving of that happening from? And we invite that, oh, well, that's back here.
Mm.
And then we invite that. So it's all on the level of feeling, of physical sensations and the perceptions of them. But then we invite that to open up into that vast field of awareness. And I really believe we're changing things in the brain when we do that.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I mean,
Yeah,
an experience is an experience, and if you have an experience that you never had before and didn't think you could, didn't even imagine you could have,
right.
and you have it, it's imprinted, and it's probably very powerful.
Yeah. And I remember when I was doing core transformation, this is funny with this one guy, because of course these are all altered states,
Right, right.
which is why I still call it hypnosis. Uh, but so we'd been working for about an hour or so, and finally when we were done, he says, Doc, how long was I under? And I thought about explaining, well, you weren't exactly under and that it's an altered state. So finally, I said, oh, about an hour.
Yeah, that's all they want to know.
That's right.
How long ago was I been to in this situation?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
I also do usually in the first session an exercise called empowered self,
mhm.
which can be very profound for many people, where I have you in hypnosis imagine, visualize you exactly the way you want to be.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then, or sometimes you completely healed. And then I have you step in and be that person for a little bit. And it just gives you the experience of what
yeah,
it's like to actually be that person. And then
yeah,
you bring back some of that into your
yeah.
current self.
That's amazing. Yeah,
And
yeah.
people love it. And for many of them, it's very, and I assign you to do it every day.
And oh yeah, that's the homework assignment.
There's homework here. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So, who would be particularly for this type of work? Who would be an ideal client for you? What would they be looking for? Would they be coming for a spiritual awakening, or
Not necessarily, but
good?
they get there.
Yeah, they get there.
No,
It's the
they're not.
one.
They're not coming out and say, "Give me a spiritual awakening." Most of them are not doing that.
Right, right.
Uh, but they get there.
Well,
Yeah,
like if this was 1960s, you might have been getting a lot of calls from Haight Ashbury, so to speak. People then would be saying, "Yeah, I want to wake up my third eye, or I want to have enlightenment." And
yeah. There's still a lot of those people around.
yeah,
I'm certainly that generation, though I
yeah,
wasn't doing that then.
right, right,
I
right.
mean, I'm old, But I was there. I was in Berkeley in 65 through 69.
Wow.
But I didn't get over to the Haight much. And uh,
Well, Berkeley was still, that was a pretty big, I think it overflowed to, maybe not, but
oh yeah, no, it was all around.
yeah.
I was a math graduate student.
So you didn't have time for all that.
Yeah, but no, my ideal client, is that what you were asking?
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
say 12 to into the 90s. Male or female, I think probably maybe 60% of my clients are women, but a lot of men.
Yeah.
I work with people of all different ethnicities, and you have to be capable of using Zoom because I don't have an office anymore.
Right.
But other than that, and people have been saying, to me ever since I started, you should have a niche. I've never been able to find a niche. Uh,
Hypnosis. Well, I think perhaps your niche is the consciousness work.
yeah, I worked with this one woman. That's another interesting one. Um, she believed that people were hiding in the bushes and making bird calls
Hmm.
to
Okay.
to influence her.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't tell her that was wrong,
Yeah.
but we worked with it to the point that by the time we were done, she said, "Well, now I can sit out on my deck and I hear the bird calls, but it doesn't bother me."
It's
You
like
can't
that.
just say to somebody, "There's no monster under the bed."
Yeah.
They're going to say, "Right."
You say,
But
but that monster makes a pretty sound. You might enjoy the sound.
that's right.
That's good. Is there any anything else you wanted to share with the audience that I
Well, I'd
didn't?
like them to know how they can get a hold of me.
That's that's great. How can they get a hold of you?
Well, one, they could call me directly,
Okay.
30, or text me 301 980 0897
301-980-0897.
0897. And you can text or call or phone that number. The other
Okay.
way is uh, my website is www.hypnosis Silver Spring, all one word. Hypnosis Silver Spring. Silver Spring is where I live. .com. And if you go
Okay.
on there, near the top of the home page, there's a button. And if you push that button, uh, you can set up a consultation.
All
It's a
right. I'll put that in the
free,
show
it's a
for you.
free phone or Zoom consultation, about up to a half an hour, and we just talk about, you know, what you want to change, what's
Uh-huh.
going on,
Right.
and how I can help. And then if you want to go forward, we can schedule sessions.
Super.
I will say that, like I said, I don't, unlike psychotherapy, what I do is much faster and I believe more effective. Four,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 sessions rather
Yeah.
than week after week for months, for years sometimes.
There's the old joke, a psychiatrist friend of mine, psychologist friend of mine once said, they said person was had passed, one of the psychiatrist patients passed, and he went to the funeral. And as they lowered the casket into the ground, he said, "Oh, it's such a shame. We had so much more work to do." That's her joke. I'm not putting any shade on psychiatrists there. And, you know, that was her
Yeah,
joke.
right.
Well, Don, it's great to talk to you. I think you're doing some pretty amazing work with that consciousness. I mean, all of it, but especially, I think if people, I think the thing people need most these days is that connection to their big self, the
Yes.
Paramatma, as they say in India.
Power self is what I call it. Or
Power self, that works too.
or
Yeah,
or the or
your
the
superhero
big
self.
eye, the big eye.
The guy. You could have that'd be a good name for a store or an experience place. Let's go down to the Big Eye and get some consciousness raising going on.
Cool. I really appreciate you, and so thank you so much for
My
having me on
pleasure.
the show.
Thanks for being here, Don. All
Okay,
right.
take
Until
care.
next time,
Well,
folks, all the
till
best and joy, joy, joy. Bertha, and I help families and entrepreneurs reset their wellness for calm, energized career and family life. For the past 50 years, I've offered root cause, personal attention, and evidence-based healing. My colleague, Dr. Pat, MD, and I offer ancient and modern science-based consultations, and we train healers and nurses in courses and CEUs for their careers.